Okay, so you know how we love to deep dive into stuff that you, our listeners, send our way.
Mm. Mm.
And this one is so cool. I mean, it's so fundamental. I feel like it's something we all struggle with. Like, how do we actually approach
Yeah.
goals and challenges
Right.
in a way that we can keep going?
Yeah.
You know,
Just
it's
to
like,
sustain it.
yeah, not just like sprint out of the gate and then crash and burn 3 weeks later.
Totally.
So this was inspired by a listener who sent in some reflections on walking the Camino de Santiago.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever heard of this?
I have. Yeah, it's like a famous pilgrimage.
Yeah, so it's this like incredible, like hundreds of miles long walking pilgrimage.
Yeah.
And what was so interesting about what this listener sent was like the way they talked about that tension between like pushing hard and wanting to like achieve this thing,
Right.
but also finding your own natural rhythm.
Yeah, like when you're in your body and you're kind of flowing versus forcing yourself.
Exactly.
It's so fascinating how a personal story about a physical journey can teach us so much about life in general, right?
Totally.
Because I think that's what we're really talking about here. It's like
Yeah.
learning to actually listen to your body, to those internal signals, instead of like getting swept up in
Yeah.
all of the external pressures
The external pressure
or expectations.
Oh my
from
gosh.
it. Yes.
from everyone else.
It's like everybody has an opinion. Like, should
Yeah.
you do it this way or that way? And you're just like,
And then you're like, wait, what do I?
yeah, what do I actually want?
Yeah.
So one of the things that the author talked about was like seeing other pilgrims like trying to race through this Camino
Oh, wow.
in like an insane amount of time, like 10 days.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine like
Oh, yeah.
walking hundreds of miles in 10 days?
That's intense.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And of course, what happens? A breakdown.
Of course.
Yeah, your body's like, no.
Injuries, frustration.
Yeah.
And, the thing that they kind of point out is like people start blaming external stuff, like their shoes.
Oh, it's the shoes' fault.
It's the shoes' fault.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the weather's fault.
Oh, interesting.
Instead of like looking at maybe how they were approaching it.
Right, and taking responsibility for their own,
Yeah.
piece of it.
Which I think is so interesting because how often do we do that in our lives?
All the time.
Right.
It's so easy to blame something outside of ourselves, right?
Oh, it's so much easier.
So like, oh, if only I had, a different boss, or if only, I had this or that.
If only I had a faster internet connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's always something else. It's
Yeah.
never like, maybe I could have approached this differently.
Yeah, like maybe I put those deadlines on myself.
Totally.
Like no one made me, try and launch this thing in 3 weeks.
Exactly. Or maybe I said yes to too many things.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I'm feeling so overwhelmed.
Yes, and it's like that self-awareness piece, right?
Yeah.
Like recognizing,
That's huge.
yeah, that you're the one who's...
You have agency
Yes.
in how you respond to these things.
Yeah, and I think what's so relatable about this piece is like even the author admits to like almost falling into that same trap.
Oh, interesting.
At the beginning, like being super gung-ho.
Yeah, like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, I'm going to crush this. I'm going to like...
Yeah, conquer the Camino
Yeah,
in record
seriously.
time.
It's like that.
I think we all have that tendency
Well,
to be
it's-
like super enthusiastic at the start. And
Yeah.
then we're like, wait a minute,
Hold on.
I need to actually pace myself.
Yeah, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. And I think that's a key insight here.
Okay.
Recognizing that so many things in life,
Yes.
the things that really matter,
Mm-hmm.
they're not sprints. They're marathons.
Oh, yes.
Like relationships,
Careers,
your health,
creative projects.
business building, all of it. It's like long game.
Long game.
And I love how the author talks about this.
Yeah.
Like they say the Camino is not a competition.
Right.
There's no cheering crowd at the finish line.
No medal ceremony.
No trophy.
Right.
So it's like reframing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about getting there first.
It's about the journey.
It's about the experience.
Yeah.
And that's so powerful.
Yeah, so it's like shifting the focus from like that external validation
Mhm.
to something way more internal.
Yes.
Like just like being present,
Being there.
tuning into your body.
What are your body and mind telling you
Yes, what are they saying?
along the way?
Because they're giving us cues all the time.
Constantly.
But we're so busy like looking at the,
Instagram post.
the finish line or whatever that we're like not even paying attention to.
Mhm.
Like,
The whispers
Yeah.
of your soul.
so this brings us to like a really important question
Okay, I'm right.
for you listening right now.
Hit me.
When you're working towards something that's like really meaningful to you,
Yeah.
what is it that you're actually after?
That's good.
Is it just like getting to that end point as fast as possible?
Right, like checking the box, being done.
Or is there something more valuable in like
Yeah.
the actual process of like
Yeah.
learning and adapting and just like being in it,
Being in the mess.
being in the mess?
Yeah, I love that.
So the author has this amazing moment where they meet this elderly couple
Okay.
while they're walking the Camino.
Mm-hmm.
And the couple gives them this advice, and it seems so simple.
Oh, I love when it's simple wisdom.
So it's like, slow down, find your own pace.
Don't try to keep up with
Yeah.
the Joneses.
Yeah.
The Camino Joneses.
Right. And what's so funny is the author's like, I hear you,
Right.
but also I'm young and I've got this.
I got this.
And it's like, we've all been there
100%.
where someone's given us really good advice,
Yeah.
but we think we're like somehow immune.
Special. We're the exception.
Yes.
It's into the rule.
And then, of course, what happens?
What happens?
Knee pain.
Oh, no.
Right? It's like that moment where your body's like, hello,
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you.
I've been sending you seven.
Yeah. And you just like ignored me.
Ignored them.
And so now we can make you pay attention.
Right. Because now it's a problem.
Right. And it's such a good reminder that like our bodies and our minds, like they have so much wisdom,
They do.
but we can so easily override it.
Yeah. Our ego gets in the way.
Our ego's like, no, I got this.
I know better than my body.
And I think connecting this back to you, like, have you ever had those moments where you felt that knee pain?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
And it might not even be like a literal physical pain.
Right. It could be mental.
It could be like that exhaustion that just won't go away.
Burnout.
Yeah.
The brain fog.
Yeah. Or you're putting in more and more effort.
Yeah. And you're getting less results.
Yeah. And you're like, why is this not working?
Right. Why am I pushing so hard?
Yeah. And it's like, those are all signals that like something's not sustainable.
Totally. Your body's like, dude,
Red alert.
red alert, something's not right.
Yeah. So the author takes this lesson from the Camino and they start applying it to like all of these other parts of life.
I love that.
Like overworking, you know, like consistently pushing past your limits.
Yeah, we glorify that.
We do. It's like a badge of honor.
The hustle.
The hustle.
The grind.
Yes. You've got to be exhausted
You got to be stressed.
to be successful.
To be worthy.
And it's like, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Is that actually true?
Right. What are we really chasing here?
Yeah. Like, what are we actually gaining?
Right. From this constant, like,
Go.
rush and striving.
Yeah. It's like forcing you to take a step back and be like, what am I actually doing?
What are my motivations?
Yeah.
Am I actually living in alignment with what I truly value?
Yes. And this is where the author says something so powerful.
Okay.
They say, don't confuse what people tell you
Okay.
with what you tell you.
Ooh, that is good.
It's so good.
So good.
It's like, not that all external advice is bad,
Right.
but it's like you have to filter it.
Through your own experience.
Yes, through
Yeah.
your own. Like, what is my body saying?
Yes. What is your gut telling you?
Yeah, what is my intuition saying?
Your intuition is so powerful.
It is.
It's like this deep inner knowing.
Yes, and we often silence it.
We do. We're like, no, be quiet.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
I'm going to listen to this expert.
Yeah, I read this book.
Yeah.
I need to.
I got to follow the formula.
Yeah, and it's like, wait a minute. Like, what is actually true for me
Right.
in this moment?
In this body.
Yeah.
With this set of circumstances.
Yes, and I think that piece about like a balanced life,
Yeah.
not being a one-size-fits-all,
No.
is so important because what works for one person
Totally.
might be a disaster for someone else.
Exactly what feels good to me.
Yeah,
Might feel terrible to you.
right. And it's like honoring that individuality.
Yeah.
So the author cautions against like blindly adopting someone else's strategy.
Right. Just because it worked for them.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
right. And it's like we all have,
We're all unique snowflakes.
we are
Right.
different energy levels,
Different capacity.
different rhythms.
Different needs.
So tailoring your approach
To you.
to you is like the key
Yes.
to actually making it work.
Long term.
Yeah. So to wrap up this whole deep dive,
Let's bring it home.
I think the biggest takeaway
Okay.
is that your body and your mind are the best guides you have.
They know.
They know.
They know what's up.
They know. It's like they're constantly giving you information.
Whispering.
Yes.
Or sometimes shouting.
But sometimes being like, all right, that's it.
Yeah, I'm shutting down.
Yeah, I'm tapping out.
Yeah.
So it's like learning to tune into those whispers
Yes.
and not just like bulldoze over them.
Yeah, acknowledge them.
Yeah, like, okay,
My body's tired.
my body's tired.
I need to rest.
I need a break.
Even though,
My to-do list is a mile long.
right.
So I think a good like question to leave you with is,
Okay.
where in your life are you feeling that push
Mm-hmm.
to go harder, to do more,
To ignore that little voice.
Yes. Where is that little voice saying like, hey, slow down, pay attention?
Pay attention.
And what's one small change you could make today
Yeah, just one tiny thing.
to start honoring that?
To start listening
Yes.
to your own wisdom,
Yeah.
to your own inner knowing.
Yes.
And that's how we create a life that feels good,
Yes, that feels sustainable.
that feels aligned.
That feels like you,
Yes,
not like someone else's version of you.
exactly.
Awesome.
Love it.
Thanks for deep diving with us.
Anytime.